And welcome in to Pleasant Valley High School as we bring you Western Dubuque Wrestling here tonight from Bettendorf, Iowa. Pleasant Valley High School as we get you set for Regional Dual Action Class 3A as the Western Dubuque Bobcats will take on the Pleasant Valley Spartans. Good evening, everybody. Along with my partner, Roger Reed, this is Jamie Vasky. And what a duel we've got set coming up here tonight. Roger Reed is we saw great dual action last night in Manchester with West Delaware, Independence, Charles City, and Union. And we're going to see just as good a wrestling here tonight at Pleasant Valley High School.
Well, you're exactly right, Jamie. This is going to be a good one. This is number 10. This is number 10 Western Dubuque Bobcats taking on number 6 Pleasant Valley. And talking to Coach Paul Clear before the meet started here, he thought this could be an even split, 7-7. Of course, he'd like to go 8-6, winning a couple of those toss-up matches. But this is going to be a great duel. You got rich history right here at Pleasant Valley, the home of the Spartans. I tell you what a great facility out the door to our right. You've got a huge swimming pool. You can smell the chlorine wafting into the gymnasium here. But we've got the wrestling mat on this gym, and we've got some great wrestling that's going to take place here. And Jamie, the Pleasant Valley Spartans coming off a good finish in that tough conference, the MAC conference, the Mississippi Athletic Conference, and of course Western Dubuque coming out of a third-place finish in the very, very tough Walmart Conference. So you've got two quality 3A teams here, and they're going to butt heads. And the winner, again, this is all for this is for everything right here. You're going to wrestle next Wednesday at the state duels, and we're going to start. This hasn't happened, I don't think, all year, Jamie. We're going to start at 106 tonight, and we're going to go right through the lineup. The draw came out at 106, and we're going to see Colin Kuprick from Western Dubuque, and he's going to take on Tony Marchiori, the outstanding freshman from Pleasant Valley. Marchiori coming in here long and lean, and Kuprick the junior. Marchiori is a freshman, and Jamie, we are ready to go here. So this is a match in which Paul Cleary thought they had a good shot of winning. But I'm telling you what, Kuprick is giving up a little size to Marchiori as he is very, very tall, very, very lean. We've got a great view here. We're mat side. Don't often get to sit mat side, but we are mat side, and we're going to have a great view of the action.
Absolutely. As coming in here tonight, head coach for the Pleasant Valley Spartans is Ben Euchre, former University of Iowa wrestler, as his assistants are Trevor Zahn, Jeremy Bowling, and Jason Bowling. Head coach for the Western Dubuque Bobcats, Coach Paul Cleary. His assistant coaches are Jordan Lloyd, Jamie Ball, Tyler Horner, Troy Brown, and Matt McCarthy.
Kuprick in a nice single, Jamie, and he's going to set Marchiori to his backside. He's got to pop his head out. He's got his head stuck between the legs of Marchiori. Marchiori wrapped around the waist of Kuprick. Kuprick's going to try to pop his head out. No points yet. Our official looking close and waiting for Kuprick to pop his head out. Kuprick now is going to try to elevate Marchiori, and Marchiori has to bail out, and Kuprick's going to cover the hips for a takedown. That's a great start for the junior from Western Dubuque.
And the Bobcats come in here tonight with a 23-4 dual meet record on the season. So a great record here, great season for these Bobcats. And you're looking down through here, you got some seniors in here for Western Dubuque who have been in. This will be their third regional duel. They're looking to win one here. A couple years ago, they had to go up against a very good, tough Bettendorf team. And then last year, of course, Waverly Shellrock up at Waverly. So a good opportunity for these seniors to get one more win, dual meet win, and being able to advance to the state duel.
That's right, Jamie. With 17 seconds left to go, Kuprick still riding Marchiori very tough with an inside wrist on the left, or on the right, a tight waist with the left. And we're going to go the second period now with Kuprick hanging on to that 2-0 lead. And the Bobcats have steadily worked their way up the Class 3A ladder, starting the season unranked. But again, Jamie, you saw sporting that great record of 23-4. They pushed themselves right into that 10th position. So they're taking on number 6 Pleasant Valley right here.
Pleasant Valley, they come in here with a 27-7 record on the season. So they've had a good season as well, and it's set up to be such a great duel here tonight.
Well, you got 10-6 going at it, and here comes the legs by Marchiori, and Kuprick doing a nice job stretching Marchiori out, trying to get a defensive fall, and Kuprick trying to wiggle back and forth, trying to hip heist over Marchiori. Marchiori has a cross body right in on the right side of Kuprick, now a power half Nelson on the left side, so he's applying a lot of pressure to the hips of the junior from Western Dubuque. Just underway. We're starting at 106. Marchiori getting high with the legs. Nice job by Kirprick getting his hips up, and he's going to shake the freshman off, shake him down, and Kirprick's going to try to pick up 2. He's trying to pull his head out. He's going to pick up 2. That's a nice job by the junior from Western Dubuque. And again, Coach Cleary, the Bobcats almost 100% healthy. They've got a couple of holes in their lineup, and they've got sitting a couple guys out trying to wait for that 3A district on Saturday that they will host at Epworth at Western Dubuque High School. So Coach Cleary's thinking with his depth of his lineup, he's still got a great shot at winning this duel tonight. And Kirprick's doing a nice job so far, up 4-0 on the freshman. And of course, you'd love to have points. And Jamie, last night we saw how big bonus points were to all 3 of those duels last night. So bonus points are going to play a huge part in this duel tonight.
Absolutely, and that's in any dual meet you go through here, and these dual meets are so important, and it could come down to 1 or 2 bonus points. A major decision as opposed to a regular decision. At 1 point, you never know when it's going to come in and make a difference in a dual meet.
Well, with 19 seconds left, Kirprick has a cross body ride in on the left side of Marchiori, and Marchiori is trying to back over the top of him. We're going to get warning against Marchiori underneath, basing out. And again, being very, very defensive, not trying to give up, not giving up the big points. And we're going to go to the third period with the junior from Western Dubuque, Marky's choice. He's going to go down again to start the no, he's going to go up. Marchiori will take up.
And Marchiori did not wrestle in the MAC Conference Tournament, but Colin Kirprick did wrestle in the WAMAC Conference Tournament and took first place in the conference tournament. So, a great season so far from Colin Kirprick.
He's going to pick up 2. He's going up 6-2. And Jamie, now you got to be thinking major decision. You got to be thinking, if you're Kirprick, you got to think you got to cut Marchiori loose. We saw that last night. You can expend a lot of energy on the mat for nothing, and you might as well expend that energy up on your feet trying to score some points. And we'll see if Kirprick is going to cut him loose. Kirprick gets very high with the legs right now. Marchiori may come out the back door and pick up a 2-point reversal. Kirprick now is going to give up the 2-point reversal as Marchiori is going to pull his head out and cover the hips of Kirprick. Kirprick's going to come back around and throw the cross body back in on Marchiori, and that's going to be a 2-point reversal. So they traded 2 for 2. It's now 6-2. It's now 8-2. Jamie, with a minute to go, if you're a Kirprick, I think you got to think you're cutting him loose.
I think so. You're up 6 points. He is going to go. Coach Cleary says it's up to you, and he wants to go out here and get some points here as Kirprick comes in here. Great season, as we mentioned. WAMAC champ. He's 31-6 on the season. Marchiori for his varsity record is 20-20.
And there's a takedown by Kirprick. Got in there deep, and you got to cut him again, I think, Jamie. Coach Cleary's trying to get the message to his junior out there to cut him loose. And that's going to be a 1-point escape for Marchiori. Kirprick's going right back to work. It's 10-4. There's a long shot by Marchiori. And Kirprick in a nice down block and stuffing the head of Marchiori off the edge of the mat. They go. Quarter Nelson now by Quarter Nelson. The referee's going to let him wrestle on the edge of the mat. Coach Clear up out of his chair saying, hey, you need one more takedown. Look at the scoreboard, 24.1 left. And if you're Colin Kirprick, you got to get that 2 right here. You got 20 seconds left. You're talking about a major decision here. Kirprick with the collar tie. You got 15 seconds now. Kirprick trying to penetrate. Marchiori hanging on. There's a sweep single attempt by Kirprick. He misses the leg, and now he's going to try to step behind Marchiori. He's got 5 seconds left, and that's going to do it. Marchiori might pick up 2 here on the takedown. That's going to do it. It's going to be a 10-4 win. Boy, Jamie, that's a close one. That's one that you hope doesn't come back to haunt the Bobcats.
Absolutely. He did what he needed to. He gave up the escape, but he definitely wanted that major decision to end that match and get that extra bonus point coming up. So as we move up to weight class 113, we're going to see Destin Babcock from Pleasant Valley as he will take on Jacob Close from Western Dubuque. Babcock wrestling in that MAC tournament at weight class 106 as he had a bye in his first round match. He did not place in the MAC tournament. So looking at it, and Close came in here. I'm not sure if Close wrestled in the WAMAC. He did. Lost it, went 0-2 in the WAMAC tournament. So another one of those toss-up matches here as Babcock comes in here. Babcock comes in with a 12-27 record on the season, and Close comes in here with a 4-12 record. So really is a toss-up match here between these two. Well,
you're seeing Close give up a lot of size here, Jamie. Close looks like he's probably a 6-pounder moved up. He can't beat Kirprick out at 106, so he's moved up to 113 to help the team out. And he's given up a lot of size to the sophomore Babcock from Pleasant Valley. So we'll see if he can stay in there and battle. He's doing a great job so far. Neither wrestler any leg shot so far. Just content with tying up a hard collar tie by Babcock and a retie by Close. And a Close now with an underhook to the left side or to the right side of Babcock. Close is going to try to launch him. Tries to lock up a headlock on Babcock. He's going to try to throw him. And that's the size difference right there, Jamie. Close had a headlock lock, had Babcock in a headlock, and couldn't get his hips underneath. But Babcock sagged a little bit on Close, and he could not move that extra weight there. 40 seconds left to go. Second period, there's a 2-point takedown by Babcock. A nice slide by there, a nice throw by. Picks up the first 2 points of this match, and he's going to dwarf Close. Babcock is he's big for a 13-pounder. They got him listed at 6, but Jamie, he is huge for a 13-pounder. 17 seconds left to go, first period. Our dual meet score, we're just underway. The Bobcats have taken an early lead over the Spartans 3-0, courtesy of that 10-4 decision by Kirprick over Marchiori. Here comes a cross-body ride by Babcock, and you know the legs are coming. Pleasant Valley working the legs. Jamie, the last time we saw Pleasant Valley was at the Battle of Waterloo. I believe they made it to the championship round, but I'm not sure if they won a duel. Is Close going to pick up Close is going to pick up an escape. Referee hasn't signaled it yet. There's Close going to try to throw Babcock. He picked up an escape. No, they went neutral. Sorry, they went neutral. They went neutral. That's my bad on that. They went neutral, and Babcock picked up the 2-point takedown off another throw by. And we're going to continue the second period out with Babcock up on top, riding Close with a hard, tight waist. With a hard, tight waist, now an inside wrist on the left, and he's going to try to turn he's going to try to turn Close for some back points, and I don't think it's going to happen as they go to the edge of the mat. Coach Euchre up out of his chair. They're offering some encouragement to his sophomore. Babcock a sophomore, Close a freshman. And Jacob Close has some work to do. There's a switch attempt by Close. Let's see if he can hip heist there. He left his arm behind. And Babcock latched onto that left arm. Boy, if he could have got that arm free, that might have been a 2-point reversal and some back points off of that. Now Babcock has the left arm of Close and a bar arm across his back, trying to set up a farmer. Babcock now scooping the head of Close. Close going belly down, showing a little flexibility. 45 seconds left to go. There's a farmer. Babcock's got a farmer set up. He circles the head of Close. He's going to try to throw Close to his back. Babcock now stepping over the legs of Close. Babcock picking up some back points. Referee's counting, 30 seconds left. Close doing a nice job keeping that right shoulder up. Our referee down looking tight there for the fall. 21 seconds left for the clock. Jacob Close keeping that right shoulder up off the mat, Jamie. And this is a great job by the freshman from Western Dubuque. Again, you're not favored to win this match, but you certainly don't want to give up. You certainly don't want to give up the big points here with 4 seconds left to go in the match. And he's going to be saved by the bell right there. That's a nice job by Close. It's going to be a 3-point near fall. Going to be a 3-point near fall. And Babcock's going to take a 7-0 lead now going to the third period. And if you're Jake Close, Jamie, you got to work to stay off your back again. Babcock 1 point away from a major decision right here. So Close has to really work. He tries that long switch again and leaves that left arm behind. And Babcock goes to work using that size. Again, he is very long, very lean for a 113-pounder. Again, he's dwarfing the freshman from Western Dubuque here. Jake Close doing a nice job underneath, trying to play the turtle. He gets warned for stalling right now. Close trying to work some hand control to keep Babcock from locking up that cradle of those arms. Babcock now switches over to the right side, throws a half Nelson in on Close. Close does a nice job picking it up, pulling it off and looking away. 1:22 left to go. Close now up to all fours. Babcock chops and takes a 2-on-1 now with the right arm and driving Close back down to the mat. Close really working hard to get his head and chest up off the mat. Babcock with the tight waist with the left. Now a hard cross-face by Babcock from right to left, trying to lock up a cross-face cradle. He's got it locked up. Close trying to work that, trying to get his left arm out. And that's going to be a cradle by Babcock, and he's going to get some back points here. With 51 seconds left, all Jake Close needs to do is keep that right arm or that left shoulder up off the mat. Babcock trying to readjust that shoulder. He's got his bottom knee, and now he steps over that right leg. Jake Close doing a nice job fighting off. 35 seconds left to go and counting. Babcock now trying to readjust that left shoulder. Coach Cleary up off the mat trying to offer some encouragement to his young freshman. That's going to be a 3-point near fall. Babcock takes a 10-0 lead. Now Babcock out around the front of Close, trying to lock up that cradle one more time. Close trying to go around the head of Babcock. 11 seconds left to go. Boy, what you wouldn't, there's going to be stalling against Close, and 1 point for Babcock. It's going to be 11-0. Maybe 11-1 there, no points. It's going to be 11-0 major decision. Major decision, 11-0 for Babcock. So Jamie, that's those bonus points we were talking about.
Exactly, and that was like you said, that was one of them toss-up matches. Both wrestlers with losing records, and unfortunately, Close wasn't able to come out on top of that one.
Boy, just giving up a lot of size right there was Close and Babcock. Well, we're going to go to Bailey Thurm. Bailey Thurm has been wrestling very, very well as of late. Had a very good conference tournament, I believe. Let's check the skinny out on that. Bailey Thurm was third at the WAMAC with a 6-2 win over Logan Riley in that bronze medal match. This is Joe Heblin. He's a junior. Again, these Pleasant Valley Spartans are very long and lean. There's a elbow post and a drop single by Heblin. He's got the left leg of Bailey Thurm up in the air. Thurm tries to come with a whizzer, and Heblin hits him with a back trip and picks up the 2-point takedown. Here comes the leg, and Jamie, you can see the euchre style here. Once the Spartans have you down on the mat, they're going to slap a cross body in, and you better be ready for it.
Absolutely, and Bailey Thurm has had a great season as well. You mentioned finished third at the WAMAC tournament. Comes in here with a 23-14 record. Heblin, he didn't wrestle in the MAC conference, but he's 14-12 on the season.
So another one of those matches where you'd like to think this is a toss-up match. Bailey Thurm wrestling very, very well. He tied this up 2-2 now with that reversal as Heblin got his hips up trying to put the legs in, and Bailey Thurm backed out the back door, came out the back door and picked up a 2-point reversal. Heblin gets up just a little bit slow, grabbing his left calf. Thurm gets up a little slow too, shaking his head. Looks like he's got shaking the cobwebs out there, Jamie. I didn't see him hit heads, but sometimes things happen. We don't always get a good look at it. Nice tight waist and a chop by Thurm as he's got Heblin belly down. Heblin now pushes back over his hips, and Thurm's going to put a cross body in of his own. He's got back points right there. He had Heblin turn for back points. Now Heblin is going to pick up a 2-point reversal on Thurm, and Heblin's going to try to slap a cross body ride in on Thurm, and Thurm does a nice job. Boy, he gave up 2 points there with about 8 seconds left, and Jamie, we saw how big of an impact that is. To score points with short time and to not give up points with short time.
Yeah, and we've seen it a lot, all season long. We saw it again last night, a match where it was a close match, and those points late in the period, you never know when they're going to come back and get you, and you just got to you got to know, and it's kind of a mental clock. You got to know, hey, we're getting close to the end of the period. You might be able to sneak a peek at the clock, but you got to know, hey, I can't give up points here.
Well, you're exactly right. It's a mental thing and it's a feel thing too, and you just kind of got to know. There's a tight waist tilt attempt by Hebron, and he's trying to take Thurm to his back. I'll tell you what, Thurm's got 23 wins. Hebron's got 14 wins. There's a nice job by Hebron. He got a 1,001 count on the tilt as Thurm tried to roll through. Now a long switch by Thurm. The Bobcats have not wrestled, Jamie, for about 8 days. You wonder how that has an effect on you as you go through the end of the season. Some coaches like to have that break to get healed and to work on some things. Some coaches like to keep wrestling to keep in the groove, so to speak.
And that's exactly right. You come in here and the last time they wrestled was the Womack tournament, so that's 11 days ago. So like you said, it might help to rest up, but you're also wrestling for the first time in 11 days. You've been wrestling the same guys in the room. You'd like to get out there and wrestle someone else, but at the same point, you may have gotten into a rhythm wrestling the guys in the room.
Well, you're exactly right. There's a stand-up attempt by Thurm and a front trip by Hebron. Again, the size difference here is giving Bailey Thurm a little trouble. Again, a long, tall Hebron applying a lot of leverage on Bailey Thurm. 24 seconds left to go in the second period, and Thurm's got to reach down and score some points here. There's a hip heist attempt by Thurm, a tilt attempt by Hebron right there, and Thurm's got to go belly down so he doesn't give up any back points. 10 seconds left to go. Thurm to his feet. Thurm trying to push back over the hips. There's back points by Hebron as he settles in. Hebron just takes Thurm right to his back and picks up a 2-point near fall again in short time. That's 4 points that Thurm has given up with less than 10 seconds left to go in the period. Boy, those are the ones that hurt, Jamie. Got 6-2 lead now by Hebron. And Thurm is going to try to get to his feet here. He's going to go back down underneath, and Hebron so far has had his way on top. Again, using that length. That length has been very frustrating to Bailey Thurm. Thurm trying to work some hand control, and I'll tell you what, that's very difficult with that length of Hebron. This just looks like, Hebron looks like about a 138-pounder out there, Jamie.
Well, he does, and I think it's the height that he's got, too, is he's able to work that wrist, that bar arm on the inside, and it's really giving Bailey Thurm fits right now.
Thurm's going to pick up a 2-point reversal, and he's going to grab a chicken wing on the left side as he picks up that reversal. It's now 6-4. Thurm's trying to put a cross body right in on Hebron, and he's got it locked in. Let's see if he can turn Hebron for some back points. You're 1:09 left to go in the third period, and it's a 6-4. Now you talk about those points scored at the end of the period. Thurm still with the cross body right in on the left side. Thurm trying to hit a crossface on Hebron. We might get a stalemate. Thurm's got a cross body right in on the left side, and he's trying to go crossface from left to the right shoulder, expending a lot of time here. Hebron down underneath. Not concerned about anything right here, other than not giving up any back points to Thurm. Bailey Thurm needs to score 2 here. Might get a stalemate by our official, and we do. 29.7 seconds left. We're going to toss-up match right here, hoping to go the Bobcats' way with Bailey Thurm, but it's 6-4, and that two-point tilt at the end of that second period. I'll tell you what, that was a dagger right there. Bailey Thurm with some work left to do. 24 seconds left to go and counting. Hebron now belly down, and Thurm trying to work an inside wrist, trying to work a bar. He's got to come out to the front. You got to try something. There's an inside wrist, and Hebron crawls forward and goes belly down again. Tight waist by Thurm. Thurm now trying to work some kind of cradle. He's sitting over the left ankle. There's a hard crossface by Thurm, and Hebron pulls it off, and that's going to do it. It's going to be a 6-4 decision. 6-4 decision for Hebron. So it'll be a 3-point decision, and now the Pleasant Valley Spartans will take a 7-3 lead into weight class 126. And we're seeing Evan Ellis for the Bobcats taking on Spencer Nevilles. This is one in which Western Dubuque will not be favored. And Jamie, I just can't believe the size. I know these guys all got on the same scale. But that's a 2-point takedown by Nevilles. And he's going to cut Ellis loose. Ellis is going to score 1. And Nevilles is going to go right back to work on a 2-on-1 Russian tie, in on a double. And a nice down block by Ellis.
And Nevilles coming in here is ranked number 6 in the state in class 3A. He comes in here into tonight's dual meet as he's got a 36-9 record. Evan Ellis for Western Dubuque comes in here. His varsity record is 0-1 on the season.
0-1, so limited action there. So there's another takedown by Nevilles, and he's up now 6-2 and working a hard crossface on Ellis. He's going to try to load up a cradle. He's got a cradle locked up, and he's got Ellis on his back. That could be a fall, Jamie, and it is in 1 minute. Spencer Nevilles winning by a fall. And again, that's what the number 6 ranked wrestler will do. Western Dubuque now goes down 13-3. And we're going to Austin Hosh and Reed Brockage. This is one where Western Dubuque's got a great opportunity here. Hosh, highly ranked in class 3A. I believe he's ranked number 5 or 6. Walmack champ. And Reed Brockage is a junior. There's a double leg takedown by Hosh. This is an opportunity for Hosh to come in and give a stop. The Spartans have won 3 in a row.
So I have to correct myself. I was looking at last year's MAC wrestling tournament.
Okay.
I mentioned Marchiori didn't place. He got 5th in the MAC conference this season. Destin Babcock finished in. He did not place this year at weight class 120. I mentioned Joe Heblin didn't wrestle in it as well. Heblin finished in 5th place. Nevilles was a runner-up to Hunter Ginkgo from Clinton in the MAC. And here at weight class 132, where you've got Reed Brockage, he comes in here. He finished 6th place in the MAC conference. And, of course, Austin Hush was a WAMAC conference champion.
And there's a nice double leg takedown by Hosh. 54 seconds left to go in the first period. This is an opportunity for Western Dubuque to get 6, Jamie, I think, with Hosh. That would.
And Hosh is ranked number 6 in the state, as he's had another great season for him. We saw him down at state last year. He'd like to get there again. He's 34-1 on the season. As we mentioned, he's taking on Brockage, and Brockage comes in here with a 12-14 varsity record.
So there's an opportunity here. It's got to be an opportunity for bonus points. There's Brockage with the sit-out turn-in, and Hosh is going to cut him loose with 19 seconds left. So it'd be nice for Hosh to pick up a 2. Hosh in on a single, cuts across to a double, and he's going to sit Brockage to his left side, step around and cover the hips, pick up a nice takedown, Jamie. That's what seniors do right there. They take charge, they score those points when you need them to, and that's a nice first period for Hosh.
And an opportunity there where he looked up at the clock. He knew he had 20 seconds left. He went out and got another takedown at the end of this period. But I think if you're Austin Hush, you come in here, you've done a great job on your feet. Maybe keep working on your feet. Build up that opportunity to get that technical fall here in this match, or get on top and get a fall. You need big bonus points, 5 or 6. I think anything less would be underachieving here for the senior.
Well, I think that's a very good analysis there, Jamie. Underachieving, that's a good word. And if you're ranked number 6 and you're 34-1 and you're taking on somebody that's 12-14, you just got to come out and dominate the match. It's going to be it was Brockage's choice, and he chose down. Coach Euchre said, "Hey, go up on top," and he went down. So Coach Euchre said, okay, hey, do what you want to do. And right now, again, Hosh expended a lot of energy there, Jamie. He's 40 seconds into the match and just pounded on Brockage, but you have no points to show for it. You might as well expend that energy up on your feet working for some points.
And I think another factor into this, Roger, and we saw it last night, was in a situation like this, you're expecting big bonus points out of Austin Hush. Reed Brockage has one goal right now, and that's not to get pinned underneath, and he's not letting Hush get anything going on top, not getting his offense. Now Austin Hush is going to let him up and get the takedown, and I think that's what he needs. He needs to go back to work on his feet here.
Well, you're exactly right. 45 seconds left to go. 45 seconds left to go, and that was, you expended about a minute and 15 seconds up on top trying to turn. There's Brockage trying a long shot. Hosh is going to pick up 2. Let him go again, Austin. And Hosh is going to shove him off the edge. And that's going to be another takedown for Hosh. Takedown number 4. He goes up 8-3. Hosh is going to cut him loose again, and we're going back to our feet.
And that's the thing. You talk about expending energy. And if you coming in here, it's obvious at this point Brockage's goal is not to get pinned. So you needed to do this maybe a little bit earlier, because a tech fall when you're going 2 for 1 takes more time than one would think. You don't see very many first period tech falls in a match, and that's what Austin Hush has got to do. He's got to have at least a couple periods working on that tech fall.
Well, he's up 12-5 right now. That was a couple of nice takedowns, 3 takedowns there after he cut Brockage loose, and now he's up 12-5. And you got to think
maybe something feet to back here.
Well, he's going back to neutral. I thought he might go down and pick up 1 and then 2, but he's going to go right to work on that takedown on Brockage. Brockage has been warned for stalling. There's a fireman's carry by Hosh. There's your back. There's your back, Jamie. Good call again. You called it. There's a 2-point takedown by Hosh, and now you're working for some back points. If you're Austin Hosh now, you got to grab that inside leg and score the fall here. Brockage trying to bench press. Brockage trying to bench press Hosh off the top.
Be close.
It's got to be close. 135. A referee down, looking close. Hosh is going to Man, I can't see any daylight at all there, Jamie. But a referee's down looking.
Hush's hand.
Hosh's
and that might be what's holding him up here.
Brockage has that left shoulder, that right shoulder up. A reverse half Nelson now by Hosh. Hosh is going to try to tee out. That's got to be a fall right there, Jamie. Boy, I tell you what, our official wants that guy pasted to the mat. There's a 3-point near fall at 17-5. And now there's a drive cradle now. There's a drive cradle now by Hosh. He's got Brockage in trouble one more time. It's going to be 20-5, and that's going to be a tech fall right there. Match should be over, Jamie. 20-5. Tech fall by Hosh. 20-5. And that should be at 20-5. Boy, I tell you what, we couldn't see any daylight under there, Jamie. It's now 13-8. Andy Doherty, we haven't seen him wrestle for a while.
Yeah, and I know he's been fighting an injury. He's got a shoulder wrap on out here, as Doherty hasn't had a whole lot of match. I mean, he's 20-8 this season, so hasn't had a bad season at 20-8, and he's going to be taking on from Pleasant Valley Jimmy Sampson. And Sampson comes in here tonight with a 21-22 record. As see if he wrestled in the MAC conference tournament. He did, and he finished in 6th place.
So here's an opportunity for Doherty to pick up a big win. I'll tell you what, there is Jimmy Sampson, no points yet. Doherty's trying to put a cross body right in and pull himself out. Sampson has his head caught between the legs of Doherty. That's got to be 2 there, Jamie. Doherty's got both legs in. A referee's not signaling. That's got to be 2 by Doherty. He's got both legs in. Sampson's trying to stack him up, Jamie. That would be 2 if you were on top. You would still have control. Doherty's got to be careful now he doesn't get stacked up there. And now it looks like Sampson's going to score 2 on there. Boy, oh boy, that might have been 2. That might have been 2. Doherty still got the leg of Sampson. That was an early 2. I think it might have been 2-2. Our referee signaled it, but Sampson's got a drive cradle locked up on Doherty. Doherty's hanging on to that left leg of Sampson. Now we're going to get a stalemate. 2-0 now in favor of Jimmy Sampson, the junior, 21-22. You got to think. Andy Doherty's got a shot here. Long switch by Doherty. 33 seconds left to go. Here comes a cross body ride by Sampson, and Doherty hanging on to that left leg. But if you're Doherty, you got to be careful here because he's got his left arm trapped between the leg of Sampson. Sampson with a power half Nelson on Doherty, and he's looking for some back points. Sampson getting some back points on Doherty. Might be a fall here. This would be a huge win for the Spartans. With 8 seconds left to go, Doherty trying to keep that right shoulder up. Referee looking for the fall. 3 seconds left to go. Doherty's going to breathe new life here. Wow. That's a 3-point near fall by Sampson.
And I think now, if you're Andy Doherty, you got the rust out. It's time to go back to work here, and you got to get moving as he comes in here. He's ranked 10th in the state in Class 3A as Andy Doherty. So he's down 5-0. He's got to get moving underneath here.
Well, here comes the legs by Sampson. And the last time that Sampson put the legs in, he trapped the left arm, and he's got the left arm of Doherty trapped again between his leg and his body. And Doherty doing a nice job now controlling toes. Here comes a power half Nelson by Sampson, and Doherty tried to roll through, got a 1,001 count. Here comes a leg again by Sampson, and that cross-body right has just been giving the Bobcats fits. And Jamie, again, if you're not used to that all the time and you got somebody that's really good, there's Doherty might pick up a reversal here. There's a hard cross face by Sampson. Sampson trying to pick up some points. And Doherty now going to his back as he rolls through, getting a 1,001 count for Sampson. Boy, there's another 2-point near fall by Sampson, so he goes up 7-0. So you called it, Doherty just a little bit rusty here. And the strength right now in the legs of Sampson have been giving Doherty, the senior, some trouble.
And it's one of those things, if you're not used to a kid that's good with the legs, you think you're in good position, right? Like right there, Doherty was trying to switch out of that, and all of a sudden Sampson's going to pick up. Lifted the leg, and he's going to pick up 3 more near fall because, when someone throws the legs and you've switched on them, if they got that leg in and you think you're free, you're not really free until you clear the legs. And Doherty wasn't able to do that, and it's going to be 3 more near fall for Sampson. That's going to make it 7-0 now, 10-0.
So Sampson really, here comes a cross body again, and Doherty trying to catch the leg. And I'll tell you what, Sampson's doing an outstanding job here, frustrating the senior from Western Dubuque. At 12 seconds left to go, and I'll tell you what, Doherty did not wrestle in the Walmack last week, and you can kind of see, Jamie, you're right, he looks a little bit rusty. He's got some work to do this third period. Again, still time. We've seen Andy Doherty win some big meets here for the Bobcats, and you got to go up on top if you're Doherty. And Doherty takes a peek over to the coaching staff there, and I'll tell you what, the Sampson has put together, Jamie. Jimmy Sampson, the junior, he's got some big arms, and he has put together. There's the whistle. Doherty now going to try to come with the cross body of his own on the left side of Sampson, and Sampson's going to go belly down. Doherty trying to work an inside wrist on the left. Again, our meet score is 13-8 in favor of the Spartans right now. Sampson working a major decision on Andy Doherty. And I know this is one that Coach Cleary thought they might be able to get if Doherty wrestles lights out. Doherty now trying to tilt Sampson. He's got a crossbody right in of his own, and Sampson doing a nice job getting under the leg now of Doherty, and Doherty getting very, very high riding. Doherty's going to have to post and put a far side half Nelson in. Then put a far side half Nelson in and shove the head of Simpson away. He would have some back points. Our referee looking close. 1:08 left to go. Far side half Nelson by Doherty, and he just can't quite turn the junior from Pleasant Valley to his back. Now out in front goes Doherty. Sampson latches onto the left leg of Doherty, and Doherty has to come to a crossface. Now Doherty working a drive cradle. Let's see if he can get his head in the side. 45 seconds left to go. Doherty there's going to be stalling against Sampson. Doherty trying to curl up a cradle. Boy, he stepped around the head, Jamie. And I'm not sure if that's where Coach Cleary wanted him. He stepped around the head, and Sampson latched onto that leg. He's trying to set up a turn here. Right now, an inside wrist, trying to pull it out to a bar. And Sampson playing the possum underneath, playing the turtle, just basing out. There's that inside wrist. He's got 17 seconds. He had that inside wrist rolled out to a bar. He's going to try to curl up Sampson. Going to try to throw Sampson to his back, but he's got to hustle. Sampson sit out, turns in, and faces Doherty right now. 6 seconds left to go, and the Spartans are going to pick up a 10-0 major decision. Might be 11 right there, a 1-point escape. Andy Doherty not happy with that. It's going to be 11-0 major decision. And Pleasant Valley is going to pick up 4 more, and they will take a 17-8 lead going to weight class 145. Mitch McAndrew McAndrew for the Bobcats, taking on Matt Nowak. He's a senior for Pleasant Valley.
And Nowak, a great wrestler as well. He finished 4th in the conference tournament, the MAC conference, ranked number 9 in the state as he comes into tonight's matchup as with a 35-13 record. Mitch McAndrew for the Bobcats comes in here, and he's 1-1 in varsity competition this year.
So this match will favor the Spartans. And I'll tell you what, the Bobcats, this is not the way they wanted this meet. Both those toss-up matches, Jamie, where they thought they had a chance to win, have gone to the Spartans column, and they got to look for somebody to really surprise them right now. There's a double leg takedown by Nowak. And he goes right to work on that tilt. And boy, the Spartans do a great job controlling hips, Jamie. Once they get that takedown, they're climbing the body, they're controlling the hips with a tight waist or chopping an inside wrist. And then if they get the leg in, that's even better for them.
Well, it is. And, they do, we've seen so far that just the way they've been riding on top, they throw the legs in. Like you said, euchre style, they get on top and they just they leech onto you, and there's nothing you can really do. Is these cheap tilts that they're getting, there's just not a whole lot the Bobcats have been able to do with it right now.
Well, it's about controlling hips, and that's going to be a 2-point near fall by Nowak, and he goes up 4-0, and he's going to slap a cradle on Mitch McAndrew, and McAndrew's going to try to roll through, and 1,001 count for Nowak, and hand control. Mitch McAndrew trying to split the hands of Nowak, and Nowak, there's a nice job by McAndrew. He's going to try to launch. He's got a cattle catcher in on Nowak, and he's going to try to launch him. Boy, he got too high with it, and it's going to be a 1-point escape by McAndrew and a 2-point takedown by Nowak, and that's just the size difference right there and the strength difference. McAndrew had that locked up, and he didn't go down with the head. He needed to go down with the head one more time and curl that head and then scoop that arm. And the strength and the size difference there by Nowak got him a 2-point takedown. Boy, but that was a great try by McAndrews, Jamie, and that's what you're talking about. Somebody's got to just let it all go here and see if they can, see if they can surprise the Spartan. You're not favored in a match. You have nothing to lose. And McAndrew is doing a great job with nothing to lose. He's throwing caution to the wind, and again, that's an opportunity, and that's kind of what you got to do here. Cross-body ride by McAndrew on the left side of Nowak, and Nowak on all fours. Nowak with a mule kick, kicks that left leg free. McAndrew slaps a cross-body right back in. This time Nowak blocks it off with Nowak in a short sit, trying to come to a stand-up. McAndrew goes down to a tight waist. And now a half Nelson by McAndrew. Gets a little high with the half Nelson. He's got a cradle locked up. McAndrew with the drive cradle locked up on Nowak. Locks in good position. Let's see if he can go down with the head. If he can put his head back in the side, down with the head and up with the knee. McAndrew's lock now is down by the knee of Nowak instead of up around the chin. Let's see if he can readjust that. McAndrew trying to keep the lock in. Nowak straightening out that left leg and pushing on the hip of McAndrew. And once again, Nowak Tell you what, Nowak escapes there. That's just a great job by McAndrew. No fear at all in McAndrew, Jamie, that we're seeing. So here we go. Again, the winner of this duel will wrestle Wednesday in the state duels at Wells Fargo. Yours truly, Jamie Vasky. We will be there calling all the action on Wednesday, the state duels. And then we'll have the individual tournament starting Thursday, and we will cover that from start to finish, as we will have many area wrestlers representing Northeast Iowa. So we will be Johnny on the spot with all your action. So if you can't make it down there, make sure you tune into 94.7 KMCH, because we'll have the action there, Jamie.
And also this Saturday, we're going to have this coming up this Saturday. We've got district action for you, as Roger and me will be in DeWitt. We got to time our route on the way down here tonight, as we will have Class 2A districts. That's the West Delaware Hawks, Beckman Blazers, Animals Raiders, and the Monticello Panthers will be in action on Saturday. Western Dubuque will host their district in Epworth, as they will host Clinton, Davenport Central, Davenport North, Decorah, Dubuque Hempstead, Dubuque Senior, and North Scott. Pleasant Valley, they will be at Burlington on Saturday with Bettendorf, Burlington, Davenport West, Fort Madison, Keokuk, Mount Pleasant, and Muscatine. So a lot of district action in Class 3A.
And the Bobcats, Jamie, the Bobcats have a great opportunity to do some good things at that district, and it's always nice wrestling at home. Make Muscatine travel that 2-hour drive, that 2-hour and 15-minute drive up to Epworth, instead of Epworth having to go down there. So that's a nice thing for them to be able to do, and that'll be on Track Wrestling, so we'll be able to keep updates.
Absolutely, and
for that.
For you Bobcat fans, I tell you what, make it a home field or home mat advantage. Get there early. The doors open at 11 for that dual meet. Get there early and claim your spots in the stands and make it a home field advantage for the Bobcats on Saturday.
Well, McAndrew's going to choose down to start the third period, and Nowak up on top, and Nowak slaps a cross-face cradle, a far side cradle on McAndrew, and McAndrew tried to roll through, and Nowak stopped him, so it could be a fall right here. Nowak adjusting the cradle. He's got it in deep, and he's pinching those elbows tight together. McAndrew trying to keep that right shoulder up, trying to split the hands of McAndrew, and he finally gets the hand split, but that's going to be a 3-point near fall. It's 9-1, so the Spartans working on another major decision here, Jamie. We talked how important bonus points are, and so far the Bobcats have come up short scoring bonus points, and the Spartans have done what they've come here to do, and that's win the matches, and not only win them, but win them with extra points. 30 seconds left to go in the match. And McAndrew's trying to lock up another cradle, or Nowak, trying to lock up a cradle on McAndrew, and he's got it locked up. McAndrew's trying to roll through, and it's going to be a 2-point near fall. It's going to be an 11-1 lead now by Nowak. Matt Nowak's 35-13, and he's very physical up on top with that cradle series. Hard crossface, he drapes his body over McAndrew, and Nowak is going to pick up an 11-1 major. It's going to be 13. Going to pick up 2 more, and it's going to be a Nowak 13-1 major decision. Jamie, if you can say anything, that at least the Bobcats, they aren't giving up the falls. They've been turned by their back. They've only given up 1 fall, but again, it's a major decision. And it's another 4 points for the Spartans, so the Spartans now go up 21-8. And this is our featured match right here. This is worthy of a state medal match right here. And I don't think this is going to be Dylan Ganson, Jamie, for Western Dubuque. I don't think it is going to be Ganson. We'll see what's happening here.
Nope.
That is not Dylan Ganson and Travis Woolers. We thought that we're looking forward to this being a featured match. And it's not Dylan Ganson, but it is Travis Woolers. I'll tell you what, conference champion, got to watch him. That was tape delayed on TV last night, and I got to watch him in action against a very good Danny Bush from Davenport Assumption. And Woolers won that match 7-2. So that was highly ranked Woolers against number one at one point, number one ranked Bush from Assumption. Willer's getting the best of Bush in that finals. So, Jamie, you'll have that here pretty soon for us, I'm sure.
Yep.
2-1 now as Willers cuts the Bobcat loose. Now there's an underhook and a cross knee block by Willers for another takedown. And that's going to be a 1-point escape for Western Dubuque. And Willers showing some physicality here. He's going to cut the Bobcat loose. It's now 4-2. Willers in on a double, and he's going to drive the Bobcat loose. Not going to pick up 2 there. We're going neutral. All right, back to action we go. There's a nice long shot, and not by Willers, but by our Western Dubuque Bobcat. We'll get the name here pretty quick for our Western Dubuque Bobcat fans. Sorry about that. Nice shot, down block by Willers, front headlock by Willers. Willers is going to try to hit a go-behind, and he does, and he picks up another takedown.
We'll get there.
And it goes up 6-2. Willers now goes up 6-2.
Luke Kleesner.
Okay. Why didn't I recognize that Kleesner body out there? Luke Kleesner. I think he's a freshman, Jamie, if I remember correctly. And he's got a tough assignment right here. It's 6-3 now. And I'll tell you what, Willers is 43-2 and ranked number 3 right now at weight class 152. There's an escape by Kleesner, a hard double by Willers, and he sets Kleesner on his backside, climbs the body, and Willers is picking up some back points here with 8 seconds left to go in the first period, and it's going to be a huge period for Willers as he tries to step over Kleesner and throw a half Nelson in, but he's going to run out of time, but it's a 3-point near fall. That's a 13-point first period by number 3 ranked Travis Willers, who is 43-2 and having an exceptional senior campaign. Jamie, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 seniors in the lineup for Coach Ben Euchre. So he's expecting a year. Pleasant Valley having a fine year at 27-7. So he's having a fine year here at Pleasant Valley. Again, rich athletic tradition. We've got our athletic director, Miss Deb Kramer, I believe is her name, and very hospitable, coming in and getting us set up. And I want to just thank her on the air. We told her we'd give her a plug, but she's making our job very easy with the setup here, so we really appreciate that. There's Willers with a hard cross-face cradle on Kleesner. Kleesner trying to stay belly down and block off and try to fight hands of Willers, and he finally does. Kleesner stretches that right leg out, splits the hands of Willers, and Willers is going to have to reload another pinning combination, inside wrist on the left, and he rolls that out to a bar. Kleesner goes to a sit-out turn-in, and Willers goes right to a hammer lock now. He's got that double wrist, and he's got that left arm of Kleesner draped across his back, and he's going to go to the head, scoop the head of Kleesner, and he's going to wrap a half Nelson around the head of Kleesner and scoop that left arm now, and he's going to hip Kleesner over to his back. Kleesner goes to a high bridge, and Willers has that wrapped up. Now Willers stepping over the body of Kleesner and trying to lock in a double spur, trying to get both legs hooked up here, and Kleesner's going to try to wiggle his way out of it, and Kleesner almost throwing with a high bridge, throwing Willers to his back. That could be a fall right there. A referee looking close, 38.6 seconds left to go in the second period, and Kleesner doing everything he can to fight off his back, to stay off his back, to keep from getting pinned, and Willers is climbing back and forth, trying to readjust himself, and the freshman from Western Dubuque is showing some guts and some heart and some determination, and he rolls back down to his belly. Again, Jamie, that's all guts right there for Kleesner.
It is, and he's doing a great job out there. You're going up against the third-ranked wrestler in the state in Class 3A, and you're just fighting. Like you said, it would have been real easy for him to just lay down and give up that fall there, but he fought off his back, and he's going to head into the third period here.
He takes a look over to Coach Paul Cleary, and Coach Cleary wants Luke Kleesner to take up on top. So Again, I think that's a wise choice. I tell you what, Kleesner, if he grows into that body, Jamie, he's going to, in 3 years from now when he's a senior, he's probably going to be a 189-pounder. He's got a lot of length there, and we'll look forward to watching that take place. There's a stand-up by Willers, nicely followed by Kleesner. As Willers tried to roll through a standing roll from his feet, Kleesner followed it through. There's a sit-out turn-in by Willers. Willers is going to split the hands of Kleesner and pick up a one-point escape at 17-4 right now. The next takedown, this match is going to be over. So Willers, again, is trying to look for something feet to back. There's two, and that match is over. Technical foul by Willers, and he wins this 19-4. I'll tell you what.
That's a lot of wins.
That's pretty impressive.
Travis Willers just broke the Pleasant Valley win record with, what is it,
176.
176.
Divide that by 4, Jamie.
Not tonight.
That's over 40. That's 40. That's 42 wins a season. That's from your freshman year on. That's averaging 42 wins a season. I'll tell you what. That's 43, 44. That's 44 wins a season, Jamie. That's a lot of matches. Well, it's 26-8 now. The Pleasant Valley Spartans flexing their muscles here a little bit. And we've got weight class 160 up right now. And
this is Ganson.
This is Dylan Ganson taking on Christian Foote. So Jake Bird's out of the lineup. So Dylan Ganson, the fine senior, at 152 is moving up to weight class 160 to take on Christian Foote. Christian Foote is 18-8. So there's a throw-by attempt by Ganson. Throw-by attempt by Ganson, and he stumbles just a little bit, but regains his balance. Ganson is 32-5.
Also a Walmart Conference champ.
Yes, indeed, having a great senior campaign.
And Foote coming in here as he wrestled in the MAC Conference tournament as well, finishing in 4th place today. He lost in the semifinals to Farron Krug from North Scott.
Who was the eventual champion.
He did win the championship and then lost to Trace Timmons from Davenport Assumption in the 3rd and 4th place match.
Foote comes out of the scramble, and he picks up a 2-point takedown. And now he's getting back points on Ganson. Ganson hung on just a little bit too long, Bobcat fans. And
we're right back to where we started there. That's what he wanted to do originally. Is he came in with he held on to the leg. He held on to the leg of Christian Foote, and like you said, Foote came out with a scramble and ended up on top. Picked up a 2-point takedown and 3-point near fall. But shortly after that, Ganson came back out to where they started in the scramble and ended up, he just about came up with an escape, but Foote covered him and covers him back down. 2 seconds left to go in this first period. So Ganson's got some work to do now, and it's always tough is anytime you move up. He's a 52-pounder. He's moving up to wrestle 160 here in this match, and that's always tough. You're giving up that weight.
And Ganson's going to defer over to Foote. And we're going to go back to neutral here. Again, and Jamie, I think what you said earlier about the Bobcats being just a little bit rusty, taking that 10-day break or that 11-day break, that's hard at the end of the season. You don't have any competition to get up for, and that's very difficult to keep the edge, so to speak.
And you just never know. And, that's where, these 3A kids are kind of at a disadvantage because they wrestle in their conference tournaments. Some of them may have a duel the week of sectionals, but very, very rarely do they have duels that week. So you're looking at a couple weeks off. You just never know how the kids are going to respond, and because you're dealing with 14 through 18-year-old young men. You don't know how they're going to respond not wrestling for a couple weeks. And right now the Bobcats have really got to get going here before this duel gets too far out of hand.
You're exactly right. There's a fireman's carry, a high crotch. Ganson's going to pick up 2. There's a takedown by Dylan Ganson right there, and this thing is 5-2 right now as Ganson threw a cross body right in on Foot as Foot tried to throw Ganson with a fireman's carry. A nice job by the senior from Western Dubuque. He's going to be up on top now. And Jamie, the Bobcats are kind of at a disadvantage in the WAMAC. The only 3A school in the WAMAC, so they've got to wrestle that conference meet on that last Saturday in January. Pleasant Valley wrestling their conference meet just this past Saturday, while the rest of the 2A schools and 1A schools were wrestling their sectional. So that's a huge advantage for Pleasant Valley. There's a 1-point escape by Foot. We're going back to neutral. It's 6-2 now with 44.5 seconds left to go in the second period. Dylan Ganson's got some work to do, and he's working the edge of the mat. And you can just see the weight of Foot is in his hips and legs, and you can just kind of see that size difference, and you can see where Foot's carrying that extra poundage as he's got some big legs and big hips, and Dylan Ganson finding it very difficult to penetrate that defense. And I tell you what, if you shoot in on those hips and you attack those legs, there's a reshot go behind by Ganson. There's Ganson showing a little bit of quickness. There's a 2-point takedown by Ganson. I'll tell you what, they're off the edge of the mat. Let's see how this official is going to reward this. It should be 2 for Ganson, 2 reversal for Foot, and off the edge of the mat. Should be 2 and 2. 2. Oh, gave Foot 1. So they gave Ganson 2, Foot 1. Okay, Ganson 2 for the takedown, Foot 1, so now it's 7-4. I tell you what, these Pleasant Valley wrestlers, especially Foot, is roly-poly. And I'll tell you what, Dylan Ganson needs to tighten everything up. But Jamie, if the Bobcats do not end up winning this duel,
it's going to be 7-5 as Ganson's going to choose down. Foot's going to intentionally release him here. So 7-5 is our score, should be our score, with a minute, just 2 minutes left to go here as we're heading to the third period. Red's choice, he went down.
Yep, Ganson,
he went down.
Yeah. Yeah, Ganson went down, and Foot said we're going neutral. So it should be 7-5 up there. And Coach Cleary over to the table.
No.
I'm not sure what they're doing now.
Down.
It was Ganson deferred in the second period, Jamie. Ganson deferred in the second period, and the referee looked at Foot, and Foot went neutral. The referee needed to look at Ganson. Ganson's going to choose down.
7-5.
And we'll see if they punch that 1 point up on the clock there, up on the scoreboard. $7-5, no change in time. Boy.
Oh my goodness, this shouldn't be that hard.
This is not that hard.
Down.
Ganson deferred, Jamie, at the end. It was Ganson's choice. He deferred over to Foot. Foot.
I think our assistant official is the one that's making this a little more confusing than what it needs to be.
You are exactly right. 7-5. Here we go. We'll see these guys on Wednesday, I'm sure. Both veteran state meet officials.
Oh, boy.
All right. So here we go. Back to work. Foot with an over and under on Ganson. Ganson with an over and under on Foot. We're going neutral to start. Well, actually, Ganson chose down, but Foot said, I'm going to go cut him loose, and we're going to go neutral. Foot coming in here as sophomore. He's a scrappy sophomore at 18-8. Ganson, the senior at 32-5. Ganson showing a little bit more quickness than Foot, but Foot showing a lot of strength here. And that's right now, that's kind of the difference here. And the weight, you're talking about Foot coming in here. I think the 2-pound growth allowance, so Foot possibly weighing 10 pounds more than Ganson. As Ganson weighing in probably at 152, 154 tonight with the 2-pound growth allowance. 108 left to go. Ganson's looking for a 2-point takedown to tie this up. Sweep single attempt by Foot. And Ganson does a nice job. Sweep single attempt by Ganson, and Foot backs out of it. 57 seconds left to go. for Dylan Ganson. Now you got to try to score here, and then you got to ride out, maybe take this to overtime or something, maybe a fireman's carry or something, feet to back here. 47 seconds, 45 seconds left to go. Dylan Ganson now trying to cut that defense, trying to break that defense of Christian Foote. Now Foote's probably going to go defensive here. There's a long double by Ganson. And Foote just down blocks and blocks Ganson off. 31 seconds. Here's that situation you work in the room. Foote's going to get warned for stalling, for backing up. A double underhook now by Ganson, and Foote's going to back out on it, and we've got to go back to neutral. 26-8 is our meet score. 7-5 is our match score with Christian Foote from Pleasant Valley. 19 seconds left to go. Dylan Ganson's got to get in on a shot, Jamie. Got to take some kind of shot here. Ganson trying to load something up, and Foote once again lowers his level. 10 seconds left to go, and Foote's going to Foote's got to play defense here, and he's going to tie up Ganson. Ganson's going to try to drop in on a fireman's carry, and that's going to do it. And it's going to be a 7-5 win. 7-5 win by Foote.
Now this is a match that could be interesting.
It could be interesting right here.
As you've got coming in here, weight class 170, two ranked wrestlers, as you've got number 2, Brady Letney, taking on number 4, freshman Max Lyon. As Lyon wrestling in the Walmart Conference Tournament, finishing in second place, injury defaulted in the championship to Brent Lammers from West Delaware. Brady Letney finishing second in the MAC Conference as he was beaten by Dylan Chase from Clinton. Max Lyon comes in here. His record on the season is 29-3.
So that's a fine, very fine record for a freshman
at 170,
at 170 in the WAMAC, Jamie, and the schedule that the Bobcats wrestle. That is just a very, very fine record. Letney, the quarterback of the Spartan football team. I caught that last night, little trivia there. I caught that on the replay, and that was quite a match. That was quite a finals match. Again, Letney, a senior, wrestling a freshman here, and number 2 against number 4. 1:10 left to go, 0-0. Again, our match score now is 29-8 in favor of the Spartans, and Max Lyon trying to put a dent right here in the Spartans, the Spartan machine right now, as the Spartans have won the toss-up matches, and they've won the matches that they've been favored to, and they've collected some bonus points in the process. Started at weight class 106. We're at weight class 170. So we've got a lot of action. There's a Kelly by Letney. Nice job by the freshman as he rolls out of it. That's two by Lyons right there. 2 by Lyons. He's inside the leg, Jamie. I tell you what, and we're not going to get 2 from this official, and I'm not sure why. Letney may end up getting. There's a spladle. There's a spladle by Lyons. He had Letney in a spladle. Now
he's going to give up 2.
Now he's going to give up 2 off of it. A 2-point takedown by Letney, and I'm not sure why that wasn't 2. Lyons had Letney in a spladle, didn't quite get it tight enough, and Letney wiggled his way out of it for a 2-point takedown. I'm not sure why that wasn't 2 and then 2 reversal. But once again, we're not wearing the striped shirts. Letney gets up, feeling that just a little bit too. That was a great scramble by the freshman from Western Dubuque. Lyons very physical and doing a great job. He's got had a chicken wing on the right side of Letney momentarily. There's a hard crossface by Lyons. That made Letney wince a little bit as he threw that forearm. Lyons threw that forearm right across the cheek, the right cheek of Letney. And now Lyons with an inside wrist on the right, working a deep thigh ride with the left. And Letney now coming to a short sit out. And Lyons just a little bit high. This could be a 2-point reversal by Letney.
1, not 2 here.
Letney showing a little bit of strength there, Jamie, as he picks up a 2-point reversal. That was a nice sit-out turn-in by Letney. And once he turned in, he got right in on the leg of Lyons. And Letney showed a little bit of strength there as he got Lyons lifted up off the mat and then brought him back down on the return.
That was really a picture-perfect lift and return there by Letney. And like you said, he got in and just showed that strength. There's a senior wrestler and a freshman there coming up with it immediately and getting a 2-point reversal to make it 4-0.
I've been impressed with the Spartans so far, Jamie, just with their ability, like Letney's doing right now. Lions came to that short sit out, and that claw ride by Letney, he pulled the hips of Lions right back into his own hips and then rolled through. As he rolled through, he slapped a cross body ride on the freshman from Western Dubuque, and now he's got Lions stretched out and try to work a power half Nelson on the left side. Cross body on the right, power half Nelson on the left, and he's got that power half Nelson in deep right now on the freshman, and Lions based out underneath, posted, and Letney applying a lot of pressure right now. He's trying to crank Lions to his back, and Lions really has to work to get that power half Nelson out, and he does, and Lions goes chest down to the center of the mat. Letney once again with those legs applying a lot of pressure, just exposing the hips of Lions. And once you get those hips exposed, a power half Nelson usually is going to turn you right to your back. 9 seconds left to go. And Letney hanging on to a 4-0 lead here. This is number 2 taking on number 4, Letney and Lyon. Max Lyons. So it's going to go to the third period. And Coach Cleary putting the freshman underneath. The eyes of the freshman there, Jamie, I'm not sure if he wanted to go underneath.
Yeah, but I tell you what, he's only down. He's down 4 points now. There's a lot of match left here. He's got to really work underneath and not let Letney get in there and get those legs thrown in.
Letney gets a little bit high with the legs.
Reach for the head. Reach for the head.
And Lions might have Letney with a 2-point reversal, and he does pick up 2. I tell you what, again, very, very close. The escapability of the Spartans tonight has been phenomenal. Just when you think the Bobcats have them corralled, looking for some back points or a fall, they have a tendency. And again, Jamie, that's that stuff you work on in the practice room. That's those little things that you work on in the practice room this time of year. Just staying off your back and not giving up good big points by being out of position.
Yeah, and that's it. And right now, if you're Max Lyon, you got an opportunity. Try to turn him here a little bit, but then you're going to have to go to work on your feet if you're not going to be able to turn Letney over.
Well, there's Letney coming right back to that short sit out. A tight waist with the left by Lions. And now he's going to chop that right. Now maybe a front trip. And Letney's going to find the edge of the mat. And I think we're going to go back to the center. These officials are letting him wrestle on the edge of the mat. And we're going to get a stoppage right there. Lions gets up just a little bit slow. Letney's going to go back down to the center. And the freshman from Western Dubuque is going to ride the right side this time. Letney goes right down to his base, working some hand control now. He's got the right hand of Lions posted, and Lions has to go right back to a tight waist. Short sit-out position now by Letney. He's going to post his forehead, try to get his hips out in front, and Lions got to stay back behind the arms. The freshman from Western Dubuque gets a little bit high riding now, and here comes that short sit-out position that Letney's so good at. It might be a one-point escape by Letney. Front headlock now by Lions. Letney goes right in. He dives right into the left leg of Lions. And Lions is a hard down block. 28 seconds left to go. Might get a stalemate right here. Lions is 2 points away, a back point away, a turn away here from tying this thing up. And he's doing a nice job here keeping pressure on Letney. But Letney is just hanging out right here. He's got a 2-point lead. And Letney now to his feet. 5-2 now. Lions has to try to throw something with 6 seconds left. Letney backing up. And with 3 seconds left, the number 2 ranked Letney is going to defeat the freshman from Western Dubuque by a score of 5-2. So a great match right there. A great match right there by 2 highly ranked wrestlers. But it's going to go to Pleasant Valley's side. And they pick up a 3-point simple decision. And it's going to be a 32-8 meet score right now as we move up to weight class 182. And this is going to be David Carr for the Spartans. And let's see who Coach Paul Cleary throws out on the mat. Is this Ryan Keneally? This is Ryan Keneally. We saw him wrestle a couple weeks ago at the Walmack. And Keneally has moments of brilliance. But right now, David Carr with a double leg takedown on Keneally. Carr is 19-9. He's only a sophomore, so Ben Euchre's got some talent to work with in the future. Keneally is a junior, so he will be back for his senior campaign for Coach Paul Cleary.
And Carr finished 4th in the MAC conference, as Ryan Keneally for the Bobcats finished in 4th place at the WAMAC tournament.
So you got two guys that have made it to the semifinals, losing their matches and then losing their wrestleback. So we'll see what happens here. Keneally has the height advantage, but Carr has the definite bulk advantage out here on the mat. Looks like Pleasant Valley does a fine job in their weight room. We did not see their facilities here. I know they've got a great aquatic center right out our door. I'm not sure if this must be their competition gym here, Jamie. It appears that it is.
There's another gym over here.
They have 3 gyms. They've got gyms A, B, and C. And I'm not sure what this must be gym C. They've got all their banners posted. There's a nice sit-out turn-in by Keneally as he picks up 1-point escape. It's 2-1 now. So back to work, Keneally. There's Keneally with the nice fireman's carry setup. Let's see if he can dump Carr to his right hip. And Carr backs out of it. There's a reshot by Carr, reshot by Keneally. So good action by both these wrestlers. 19 seconds left to go. Carr on the stalk now of Keneally. Keneally with a down block. Keneally with a down block of Carr as he tries to score a 2 here. 4 seconds left to go in this first period, and it's going to be Carr hanging on to a 2-1 lead, and it's going to be Keneally's choice. He's going to go down to start this second period. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what if Keneally can score a 1-point escape to try to tie this thing up and take this thing to even Steven here at deuces. Keneally to his feet, and a nice stand-up. He's going to split the hands of Carr, and Carr's going to run him off the edge of the mat. So we're going to have to go right back to the center of the mat and get a restart with 1:45. Again, if you're just joining us, this is Class 3A Regional Duels, and we are at Pleasant Valley High School, home of the Spartans, and seeing some great wrestling so far. Some close matches here at times. Again, Pleasant Valley in some matches, they have scored some big points, but we've seen some very close. The last 2 matches have been 7-5 and 5-2, and we've had a 6-4 match, so some close matches, but those matches have went the Spartans' way, and Coach Cleary before the match hoping that those close matches would go into their win column, and Jamie, they just haven't gone that way so far.
Well, they really haven't, and in those close matches, you talk about close matches, and just going down through it here. You know, Bailey Thurm lost a 6-4 decision. There's one that if it goes the other way, it'll change the score. Dylan Ganson loses 7-5 in a very hard-fought match. And of course, a matchup of highly ranked wrestlers. Max Lyon loses to Brady Letney 5-2. So just so many close matches that the Bobcats haven't been able to pull out, and that's gotten us the score that we're at right now in 32-8.
Well, and Keneally is working on some hand control underneath, but Jamie, he's having a tough time again. There's a nice stand-up by Keneally. He's going to tie this up 2-2. He finally got good hand control on Carr and tied this up. Now he's got to go back to work. A 2-point takedown by Keneally would give him the lead going to the third period. 26 seconds left on the scoreboard in the second period. Carr, there's a long double shot by Carr, down block by Keneally, front headlock by Keneally, and Carr gives him a shove off the edge of the mat. So with 16 seconds left, well, we've got to go back to the center of the mat and finish this up. There's a hard double by Carr and a whizzer by Keneally, and Carr covers the hips of Keneally, and it's going to be a 2-point takedown. Again, Jamie, did you see how much time was left on that? There was 10 seconds left in that. Again, give the Spartans some credit there for attacking with short time left, and the Bobcats have been just a little bit flat-footed.
And they have, and you hate to give up those points because you were tied up. You were 2-2, and again, 10 seconds left in that second period, and you give up a late reversal. You gotta be able to come out here and get those points at the end, and don't give them up. So now you're in a situation where you're down 4-2. You're both up. A takedown just ties it, and you got to go to work with 1:36 left to go.
Yeah, and you actually probably need 2 takedowns. Keneally will probably need a takedown to tie it, then escape, and another takedown to take the lead, unless he can take Carr to his back. And I'll tell you what, this Carr is another one of those Spartans that is put together physically, and he's only a sophomore. The Spartans have 1 freshman in their lineup. They have 6 seniors in their lineup, 3 juniors in their lineup, and 4 sophomores in their lineup. So they've got a great mix of youth and a great mix of experience. Keneally, with a minute left to go, has got to get going here. They're both on their feet. And Keneally not being very aggressive right now. He's got to try to push the tempo right here and try to get Carr back on his heels so it can open something up. Keneally takes a couple of quick steps to Carr. Looks like he's going to shoot, and Carr backs up. Carr now trying to measure Keneally. Carr on a high crotch. There's that strength by Carr as he goes to a high crotch, cuts across to a double, and picks up a 2-point takedown. Now a 6-2 lead by Carr with 38 seconds left to go in the third period in this match. Off the edge of the mat they go, and back to the center. Our dual meet score here is 32-8 in favor of the Pleasant Valley Spartans. And Coach Cleary and the Bobcat fans, awful quiet, Jamie. They came in here. You talked to a couple of the Bobcats on their way in, and they had high hopes of maybe going 7-7 here and winning a couple of those close matches by bonus points, and it just hasn't gone their way.
It really hasn't. There was and that's what we talked about coming in here was, those toss-up matches, those close matches. You got to win those matches in order to win dual meets, and if you lose too many of those toss-up or close matches, that lead kind of gets away from you. And this match here is going to end with a 1-point escape for Keneally, and that's going to make it 6-3. And it's going to make our team score now 35-8 in favor of Pleasant Valley.
Another simple decision, another close match goes in the column for the Spartans. And tell you what, we're going to go back up to weight class 195 now. We're going to have Bryce Horner for the Bobcats. And he'll be taking on Joe Pisciotti. And we'll see if Bryce Horner.
And Pisciotti finished in 3rd place in the MAC conference, as his record on the season is 24-14, ranked number 7 in the state. Bryce Horner for Western Dubuque, he comes in here with a 27-10 record on his senior season, as he wrestled and was runner-up in the WAMAC conference tournament.
So he's got his work cut out for him, Jamie. You just spy across here. We are Matt's side. You spy across there, and I know that both these guys weighed in at 195, but Pisciotti, I tell you what, he just looks like he's a 220-pounder out there. The size difference has just been incredible looking to us, to me anyway.
Hey, he is, and I think it's the legs. I mean, his for a 195-pounder, I tell you what, you talk about heavyweights having tree trunks for legs. This Pisciotti's, those are some tree trunks there.
Well, they're just very powerful. They are. They really are. And the same way with David Carr at 182. They're just and they use their hips and their legs so well. They got a great base, a great foundation underneath them, and we're seeing the Western Dubuque Bobcats having just a little bit of trouble with that. Horner now trying to set up a double, high crotch on Pisciotti, and Pisciotti fights that off. So you got a bronze medal winner and a silver medal winner out here going at it. And tell you what, Bryce Horner looks a little frustrated right now, trying to dent that defense of the senior from Pleasant Valley. And off the edge of the mat, so we're going to go back to the center. Joe Pisciotti and Bryce Horner. There's a long shot by Pisciotti and nicely countered by Horner. Horner now with the collar tie on Pisciotti. Pisciotti with the retie on Horner. Pisciotti with an ankle pick attempt, and we're going to go to second period, and it is 0-0 up on the scoreboard. Pisciotti's choice, and he's going to go down. Takes a peek over to Coach Euchre. And Coach Ben Euchre, Osage native, University of Iowa wrestler. Doing a nice job here with the, Jamie, I believe Euchre was at Mason City for just a little bit, for a year or two, and then had that program pointed in the right direction, and then this job opened up, and tell you what, this is kind of like a gold mine of wrestling down here. You've got Bettendorf. There's a nice double by Horner, and let's see if he can pick up two. That's a nice double leg by Horner.
Not Horner with a double leg.
That was Horner with that double leg. I tell you
what, he's got a heck of a double leg. We saw it a couple weeks ago at the Walmack tournament. How did you describe that? Was that
was a woo-woo. That was a freight train double right there. I'll tell you what, he got in, and Pisciotti right now with that was. So the way to describe it. You know, you can kind of see it coming, but I tell you what, it's very difficult to stop. Matt McMillan from Independence felt that first period of that finals match.
Chase Cracklio felt one in the semifinals that made me about wince.
2-2 now up on the board. 2 escapes by Pisciotti and a takedown by Horner. 56.3 seconds left to go in the second period. We're tied up at deuces. Again, a great match. This would be a huge win for Horner. Let's see if he can keep the Mo on his side. It's going to be his choice to start the third period, and I'll be anxious to see where he decides to go. Horner trying to set that double up again. And Pisciotti lowering his level and squaring out his stance, and Horner showing a little strength on his side, bull rushing Pisciotti and sending him off the edge of the mat. Again, Jamie, a couple blocks away is Bettendorf High School. Then down on the southwest side, I believe you got Assumption. So you got 3 of the better wrestling schools in the state of Iowa right here in Bettendorf and Davenport area. And then you got to go just about 5 miles up the road, and you got North Scott at Eldridge.
Clinton isn't too far away from here. They've got a good squad this year again.
There's a bear hug by Pisciotti, and he's got Horner locked up. Let's see if Horner can launch him with the headlock. Horner's going to launch Pisciotti. Let's see if he can get 2. That's got to be 2 there. Timeout. Oh, boy, you got to give 2 there, Jamie. You got to give 2. Our officials are going to confirm. You got to score 2 as Horner stopped the motion on Pisciotti. Pisciotti tried to roll him through. That's got to be 2. Yeah. Thank you very much. Pisciotti came right with that bear hug and didn't squeeze down on the hips of Horner. And Horner latched around that underhook and dumped Pisciotti to his back. I'll tell you what, Horner needed about 15 more seconds, and he would have had Pisciotti down for the count. Now Horner's choice to start the third period, and he's going to choose down. And if you're Bryce Horner, Jamie, here's the thing. If you're wrestling somebody that legs you, you got to come right to your feet.
Or get your, just like that. You know, I was going to say either that or get your elbows tucked in to where he can't go.
Horner in on that double, and this time Pisciotti rolls him through. I'll tell you what, Horner woke up a sleeping giant right here as Pisciotti is coming right at him. 5-2 right now. Horner takes the lead. 1:33 left to go. Horner had that double set up, and he didn't get his head to the outside far enough, and that made it easy for Pisciotti to roll him through. Horner takes a peek at the clock. 1:23 and counting. 5-2 lead. Now, if you're Bryce Horner, Jamie, you can't clam up here. You got to continue wrestling, doing the things that got you there. Hard high crotch attempt by Pisciotti, nicely countered by Horner. Horner now back in that staggered stance, looking for that double shot. Pisciotti giving him straight line pressure, and be a great opportunity for Horner to set up that double with a tap and go, or maybe even a sweep single. 57 seconds left to go. Bryce Horner trying to pull the upset here. There's a double by Pisciotti in deep. Nice down block by Horner. Horner showing a little bit of strength. Both these wrestlers are spent right here. Pisciotti gets up just a little bit low. Horner content to square a stance up in the middle of the mat. 44 seconds left to go. Pisciotti now coming with the collar tie. Horner with the double collar tie. Neither wrestler has been warned for stalling. Pisciotti trying to load up a takedown on Horner. And again, if you're Bryce Horner, Jamie, you haven't been warned for stalling. Now you're warned for stalling. There's a long double shot by Pisciotti. Horner gets dinged for stalling. Horner now in a double underhook on Pisciotti. 20 seconds left to go. Horner now trying that cattle catcher. He goes around the head of Pisciotti, and you got to be careful here. Pisciotti now in a headlock position. Horner backs up off the edge of the mat, takes a peek at the clock. 9.7 seconds left to go. This will be a huge win for Bryce Horner right here. There's a double shot by Pisciotti. He's in deep. 5 seconds left to go. A nice sag by Horner. Pisciotti's going to go belly down. And the Bobcats are going to get a win in their column in a close match, 5-2. That's going to give 3 back on their side. It's now 35-11. So Horner getting it done when he needs to, with 2 nice takedowns and an escape for a 5-2 decision over Pisciotti from Pleasant Valley. Now we're going up to weight class 220, and we got Devin Albee for the Spartans. He's a senior up at the top here. The Spartans have 3 seniors. And for the Western Dubuque Bobcats, it's Brendan Kriprick. And this is going to be another one of those outstanding matches. Again, 2 matches to go. This one and at 285, and it's been a very Jamie, it's been a very fun duel to watch. You know, other than the fact that the Bobcats are losing it, we've seen some more outstanding wrestling, and again, that's what you would expect this time of year.
Absolutely, and you wish that the Bobcats could have gotten this momentum that they've got right now earlier in the dual meet. You know, you had Max Lyon with a tough match against number 2 ranked Brady Letney, and then you come out here and Bryce Horner with that huge spark at 195. That's huge, and you know, if you start there, if we start this duel at 195 and Bryce Horner comes out and wrestles like that, this duel could have gone a little differently with that big spark there from Bryce Horner.
Well, you're exactly right. Well, we'll see what Brendan Kriprick has to say about this, taking on Devin Albee. Again, Albee with the size advantage over Kriprick. 50 seconds left to go. Kriprick doing a nice job trying to hit that sweep single. On Albee, and Albee doing a nice job running away from it, running out of it. It's 35-11 is our meet score. There's Kriprick in. He's got Albee on his back. A nice single by Kriprick, and he's going to pick up some back points here. He finally got in on that sweep single, and then he rushed to Albee. Kriprick goes to a headlock finish. He's got 21 seconds left to go. Now Kriprick steps over the legs. There's the fall. Brendan Kriprick with a fall in 143. That's going to give the Western Dubuque Bobcats 6. 17 now to 35.
There's a tall boy here.
This is Mutton Jeff right here, Jamie. This is Landon Carney. Landon Carney. Jeff would be the Bobcat here.
Landon Carney won the MAC last weekend.
Yeah, I missed that. I missed watching that on the TV, but I'll tell you what, he is a tall drink of water, and once again, very heavy-hipped, heavy-legged. And I'll tell you what, Dylan Hafler has his work cut out for him right here. If Pleasant Valley needed a hammer at the end of their duel here, this is Landon Carney would definitely be the hammer, as he has got a lot of strength, a lot of leverage. And we saw him wrestle very, very well at the Battle of Waterloo. And I believe at one point he had the outstanding heavyweight from Waverly Shellrock had him down before before the heavyweight from Waverly Shell came back and won the match. But Kearney is must be about 6'5", I would say at least, Jamie, and probably all at 260 out on the mat. Dylan Hafler, again, I believe Hafler is a 220-pounder, and he and Brennan Kirprick trade spots. And there's going to be a double. I'll tell you what, that's about 9 feet of length there. Kearney dropped in on a double on Hafler. Hafler trying to get himself off the mat, and Kearney trying to keep those size 14 ASICS Tigers inside the mat and couldn't quite do it. And we're going back to center with 38 seconds left to go. There's a high crotch attempt by Hafler. He drops in on Kearney. I'm not sure if that's where Hafler wanted to be, as Kearney down blocks on top of him, picks up the 2-point. Kearney locks on to a cross-face cradle on Hafler, and Hafler is in trouble with 14 seconds left to go. I don't think Kearney's going to get the fall as Hafler keeps that right shoulder up, but it's going to be a 3-point. It's going to be a 3-point near fall, and Kearney will take a 5-0 lead into the second period. All right, here we go. It's going to be Kearney's choice to start the second, and he's going to go right up on top of the much smaller Dylan Hafler. Hafler fighting like crazy, but I'm telling you what, Kearney can, I think, wrap his arms around Hafler twice. I'll tell you what, he's got some long levers, Jamie Baskey.
Man.
I'm not sure that I've seen
he's a big boy.
He is.
Just tall.
He is tall. He's got to go 6'5" at least, I would think. And his wingspan's probably 9 foot something. 1:41 left to go. An escape by Hafler. And that's a nice job of hand control. Kearney now is going to underhook Hafler on the right side. Kearney now is going to try to drop in on a double. Down blocked by Hafler. Hafler trying to hit a go-behind on Kearney. And Hafler hustles back to the center. Hafler showing a little spunk right here. Hafler definitely has the quicker feet. So if he can find a way to maybe hit a duck under, Jamie, instead of going underneath Kearney, maybe hit a duck under and try to cut a corner, that would be a lot better than trying to go underneath the behemoth Kearney.
The what?
Behemoth. I think that's a word. That means a very large individual. There's the duck under. Duck under by Hafler. Tell you what, the Bobcat fans will understand, the ones that are here. Everybody else is just going to have to take our word for it. I don't think I've seen, the last heavyweight that I've seen was that has been this big was probably big Bobby Swift from West Delaware. Kind of the same style.
Matt Fields maybe from North Cedar was about the same kind of build here as
Kearney. Yeah. Kearney is a senior here, and Hafler is only a junior, so he'll have another year left in that singlet. Again, the Western Dubuque Bobcats will take their squad of 14. They will be hosting the 3A district at Epworth on Saturday, and that's going to be a very interesting district there. 13 seconds left to go in the second period. And we're going to go to the third period. Dylan Hafler's doing an outstanding job here, Jamie. You look at these two before the match started, and you would have thought this thing is going to be over in a hurry. But the junior from West Delaware has from Western Dubuque has fought very courageously here, wrestling Kearney. And you say Kearney is ranked. He's 36-9.
Yeah,
he's the MAC champ. I'm not sure if he's ranked, but there's a nice stand-up by Kearney again. Tries to split the hands of, or stand-up by Hafler. Tries to split the hands of Kearney. And there's a tilt now by Kearney as he's got Hafler on his back. And a 1,001 count. Hafler now trying to get himself up on top of Kearney, trying to high leg over Kearney. And Hafler's going to pick up a 1-point escape, and we're going neutral. Now let's see if spin attempt to go behind by Hafler. And Kearney gives Hafler a shove, and we're going to get a restart. Hafler takes a peek over to Coach Cleary here, and it's 5-2. No back points here, and we are going to get a stoppage there. Coach Euchre asking our assistant referee if there were any back points, and no, there were not. That was right on our side of the mat. Duel about an hour and a half into progress here. Our last match, we started at weight class 106. That doesn't happen very often where you draw weight class 106 out of the hat. It's kind of nice when you do that. It's the way they used to do it. Start with the little guys, end with the big guys. Sometimes it's kind of nice to see a match like that. 104 left to go. Kearney up 5-2. He's 36-9. So having an outstanding season, looking for more. Pleasant Valley, looking at their 3A, they will go to Burlington on Saturday, and those will start at noon also. Bettendorf, Burlington, Davenport West, Fort Madison, Keokuk, Mount Pleasant, Muscatine, and the Spartans will go to Burlington. Again, at Epworth will be Clinton, Davenport Central, Davenport North, Decorah, Dubuque Hempstead, Dubuque Senior, North Scott Eldridge, and of course the host Bobcats. So very intriguing day at the Bobcat Gymnasium on Saturday. 24 seconds left to go here. Hafler trying to shoot a sweep single on Kearney. I'll tell you what, Kearney in a long down block. Kearney now is going to reach between the legs of Hafler, curl Hafler up. Hafler's going to latch onto that right tree trunk. That is a sequoia, Jamie Vasky. 5 seconds left to go. Kearney's going to try to step behind and pick up two, and that's going to be a 5-2. Simple decision for Kearney. Well, let's take a short time out here, and we're going to add this all up. And then Jamie Vasky will be back with a recap of our 3A regional duel here. You've been listening to Hold by Hold action right here from Pleasant Valley on Eastern Iowa Sports Station, Mix 94.7 KMCH.
And welcome back in to Pleasant Valley High School, Bettendorf, Iowa, as the Western Dubuque Bobcats fall tonight 38-17. And it was too much Pleasant Valley here tonight, Roger Reed, as the Bobcats, they won a couple big matches in there, but just not enough and too much Pleasant Valley here tonight.
Well, Jamie, I think you said it earlier as we started this meet. You know, the Bobcats have had an 11 days off between the WAMAC and this duel right here. The Pleasant Valley wrestled last Saturday in their conference tournament. And when you take 11 days off, kids react different to the time off. Some kids don't want the time off because they want to keep in that cycle. They want to keep in that schedule. Some kids want the time off to heal. And, yeah, you can go to the practice room and you can go through situations, but it's still not like weighing in. It's still not like competition from another team.
Absolutely, as we'll recap this dual meet for you here as we get started at weight class 106. Colin Kerprick, a takedown away from a major decision, but he's going to get a 10-4 decision over Tony Marchiori, the freshman from Pleasant Valley. That put the Bobcats up 3-0. And Jacob Close gave up a major decision for the Bobcats against Dustin Babcock, 11-0 the final there. That put Pleasant Valley on top 4-3. At weight class 120, Bailey Thurm, a hard-fought 6-4 loss against Joe Heblin, making it 7-3. At 126, Evan Ellis from Western Dubuque, losing by fall in 1 minute to Spencer Nevels. Against Spencer Nevels, that made it 13-3. Austin Hush tried to right the ship, though, as the senior Bobcat picks up a 20-5 tech fall over Reed Brockage, making it 13-8. The Bobcats went on a little dry spell as Andy Doherty gives up an 11-0 major decision to Jimmy Sampson. Mitch McAndrew was majored 13-1 against Matt Nowak. At 152, Luke Kleesner gives up a 19-4 tech fall against Luke Kleesner. At weight class 160, Dylan Ganson moving up and losing a hard-fought 7-5 match against Christian Foote. At weight class 170, a matchup of two ranked wrestlers, number 2 ranked Brady Letney, number 4 ranked Max Lyon. Letney gets the win 5-2 over Lyon. That made it 32-8. Ryan Keneally loses 6-3 against David Carr at 182, and then Bryce Horner comes in and gets a 5-2 win over 7th-ranked Joe Paciotti from Pleasant Valley. A big win for Bryce Horner. That made it 35-11. Brennan Kerprick then comes in and gets a fall over Devin Albee in 143, making it 35-17. And Dylan Hafler losing a hard-fought 5-2 match against Landon Carney, the big man from Pleasant Valley, making our final team score 38-17. Some match totals: 20 takedowns for Pleasant Valley, 14 for the Bobcats, 1 pin each for both teams. 3 major decisions for Pleasant Valley, 1 tech fall apiece for Western Dubuque and Pleasant Valley. And Pleasant Valley wins 9 matches, Western Dubuque winning just 4. And joining us now is the head coach of the Western Dubuque Bobcats, Coach Paul Cleary. And Coach, you knew coming in this was going to be a tough duel. There was a lot of toss-up matches in there, a lot of matches that if they go your way, and you needed to go your way to get this win, but lost too many close matches here tonight.
Yeah, we lost too many close matches. Hats off to PV. They won the close ones today, and we look forward to hopefully seeing those guys down the road and turn it back the other way. It kind of reminds of us of an earlier loss we had to Mount Vernon. We bounced back after that loss, and then we went on a pretty good streak there. So we're going to bounce back. We're going to have 2 days of good practice, and we're going to try and get better tomorrow. We're going to try and get better on Friday, and then we are looking forward to districts and all the opportunities that await for us there.
It's been 11 days since your guys wrestled at the WAMAC tournament. Did that have any factor here tonight as far as was there any sluggishness from your guys?
They might have been a little sluggish. You know, we're hitting that peak right now, and I think we needed a match regardless of who it was today. And it was some competitive matches in there. So it's a good thing. We had some good matches today. We can look at that as a positive. And I personally believe that you bounce back stronger after a loss than you do a close win. And we'll be motivated in practice. And I think we will be ready to go on Saturday.
Well, you guys come in here, and you knew coming in there was going to be some matches that you could still gauge how you guys are doing. You look at Max Lyon against second-ranked Brady Letney. You know, that's a 5-2 match and really shows where he's at as far as moving forward the rest of the season.
Well, and with Max, you know, he lost a close match there. Similar to Mount Vernon, he lost to Trey Ryan in a duel, and he came back, and then I thought he controlled that match pretty good in the WAMAC semis. So Max is going to bounce back. He loves to wrestle top competition. He learns from all situations, and he's a pretty motivated kid. And I think we're going to be okay there. We can't take anything for granted. You know, we all know that. Saturday could be an amazing day for us, but we've got to just go out there and take care of every second, every point, every minute, every person we can, 1 minute at a time, I guess.
Well, then you come down to the end, and you've got 2 seniors that really stepped up. You know, the score was out of reach for you guys, but 2 guys come in. Bryce Horner with a 5-2 win over a ranked opponent, a big win for him, and Brennan Kerprick coming in, and they came out and they still did what they needed to do and got wins for you guys.
They showed they showed senior leadership there. You know, Austin Hush showed senior leadership. I thought he had the kid pinned about 2 or 3 times there at the end. He's been a great senior for us. You know, Bryce has been a great senior, and breaking through and beating a tough kid. He's been right there with everybody. And right now is the time to shine and time to peak for him because he's going to have a good day on Saturday, good bracket, and looking forward to seeing him compete. And, of course, Brennan, you know, he needed that match too, and he's feeling real good about himself. He came out and he said, is it Saturday yet? So he's ready. Mental approach is everything right now, and we're pretty excited about that.
Talk a little bit about Saturday. You guys host the districts, and you guys really have a good chance to make some noise in that district, and you're hosting it. I know we talked earlier, encourage the Bobcat fans to get there early, make that home field advantage really count here in that district tournament on Saturday. But for the first time in a couple years, you guys are going to be healthy going into that district tournament, and you've got to be really happy what's coming up for the district.
Yeah, we're excited to have our 14 guys ready to go on districts. We had 2 guys out with sickness today, but they'll be back on Saturday. And our home career, you know, the Bobcat Nation's unbelievable. I think I looked up there, we had more people an hour and a half away than they did in their own backyard. And, you know, it's going to make a difference. It has made a difference in the past. You know, we were talking about Tyler Horner the other day in practice, big matches he had years ago. And Chris Ganson was down one time 7-0. He came back and beat a kid from North Scott. Oh, I can't remember his name right now. But that home crowd advantage is going to help us out, no doubt.
Absolutely.
So that's off to Bobcat Nation.
All right, Coach Cleary, best of luck to you guys on Saturday. Great job tonight, and we look forward to talking to you down the road. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for all you do.
All right, that was Western Dubuque head wrestling coach Paul Cleary, as we'll be back right after this. You're listening to Mix 94.7 KMCH. And we're back. Pleasant Valley High School as the Bobcats fall tonight 38-3. Roger, Coach Cleary, 38-17. I'm looking at the wrong score. 38-17 they fall tonight. And Roger, just a tough duel. Pleasant Valley was tough. Coach Cleary gave them credit. And, they're going to, like he said, I like that quote he said. It's easier to bounce back after a tough loss than it is to improve from a tough win. And I like that. And I think they'll do that. They came back after losing to Mount Vernon and beat West Delaware. And, they're tough, and this coaching staff will get them ready for Saturday.
Well, that's exactly right. And they needed this match tonight. Like you said, we saw them wrestle West Delaware, and they looked really sharp. I thought they looked a little sluggish tonight. And you take that 10 to 11 days off, and Coach Cleary was right. You need to wrestle this match tonight to get yourself ready, back in that mindset of competing on Saturday. And Saturday, yes, this was for all the marbles. Yeah, you'd like to get to Des Moines and qualify as a duel for the duels as a team, but you were close. You didn't quite get there. So now you've got to refocus, you got to retool, and now it's all about the individual on Saturday. You got to prepare, and you got to lay it out all on the line, and you got to go for broke on Saturday and try to qualify as many individuals as you can for the individual tournament in Des Moines.
Absolutely. Well, we will keep track of the Western Dubuque Bobcats as Saturday. We'll watch track wrestling to see how they're doing in that district tournament in Epworth. We will also be keeping track of the 1A district in Jessup. That is our only area district, is in Jessup. We'll keep track of the East Buchanan Buccaneers, Starmont Stars, Northland Lynx, Maquoketa Valley Wildcats, and the Edco Vikings. Who am I missing?
Cascade, Western Cascade.
As we'll keep track of all those schools at that district. And, of course, Roger and I will be in DeWitt for that 2A district, which features West Delaware, Beckman, and Monticello.
Did you say the Starmont Stars?
I did say the Starmont Stars.
Said the Stars.
I think you were just reaching there.
Yep.
I think you were reaching. We'll keep track of all that, and we'll have more for you. As tomorrow night, we've got basketball for you on the air, as John Swisher will be in action tomorrow night. As tomorrow night we have West Delaware girls basketball at Marion with John Swisher. Friday night it'll be West Delaware boys basketball at Independence with John Swisher and Bill Logan. And Saturday we'll have the area coaches corner with John Swisher. I'll catch up with Coach Voss from West Delaware, Coach Cleary from Western Dubuque, and we'll have that for you. And then of course all of our district wrestling coverage for you on KMCH. Don't forget, when you tune us in, we're going to turn you on to the best wrestling in Eastern Iowa, and we'd like to thank all of the great sponsors and tournament sponsors of high school wrestling, postseason wrestling here on KMCH. Want to thank Paul Glazer for running the boards for us this evening, and most of all, thank you, the listeners, for sticking with us here tonight. For my partner, Roger Reed, this is Jamie Vaskey saying good night from Pleasant Valley High School as the Western Dubuque Bobcats, once again the final, they fall to Pleasant Valley 38-17. You've been listening to Postseason Wrestling on Eastern Iowa Sports Station, Mix 94.7 KMCH. Good night, everybody.